On Press Freedom Day, the UK government has declared its support for a free press. That's despite its recent jailing of journalist and co-founder of Wikileaks, Julian Assange. Our correspondent Pablo Navarrete reports.
On the 11th of April, the Ecuadorian government withdrew the political asylum of Wikileaks' founder Julian Assange, who had been in its UK embassy since June 2012. Immediately after this, Assange was arrested by the British Secret Police and remains in custody in the Belmarsh High Security Prison in London. At present, British courts are processing an extradition request to the United States at the request of the Trump government.
What we've been told so far is that he will face a charge of conspiring with Chelsea Manning to leak US classified documents. But the truth is that that is just the first charge. And there is no doubt that once he is in the US, he will face much more serious charges.
Thank you for coming along to this.
To coincide with World Press Freedom Day, this 3rd of May, UK Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt tweeted, "If we believe in media freedom as one of the fundamental bastions of a free society, then we need to stand up and talk about the dangers that journalists now face." Given the detention of Julian Assange by the British government, many are questioning the sincerity of such declarations.
They use the rhetoric of press freedom for when it's convenient against perceived enemies overseas, but when it actually comes to real issues of freedom of the press at home, the British government is completely and utterly on the side of the censors, and the detention of Julian Assange, the publisher of Wikileaks, is a prime example of that.
Free speech, free Assange.
This week, British courts began proceedings that will determine whether the UK will allow Julian Assange to be extradited to the US. One of Assange's key lawyers, Jennifer Robinson, has said that the outcome of the case could have grave consequences on the future of journalism. The new director of Wikileaks, Kristinn Hrafnsson, also had a message for the British government.
Well, a message to the UK government on Press Freedom Day is to think about every journalist and every publisher and every editor that is in prison at the moment. And that includes Julian Assange, who is sitting in Her Majesty's prison in Belmarsh.
Despite the British government's declarations on the importance of respecting the freedom of the press as a key pillar for a healthy democracy and international freedom of expression, its behaviour in the Assange case casts doubts on the credibility of its commitments to press freedom. Pablo Navarrete, Telesur, London.